Welcome into the Recruiting Roundup. I'm Jordan Ham, and football season is upon us. Week 0 is just a couple of days away, and I'm going to bring in my good buddy Jason Jewell to help break down the latest recruiting news. And Jason, with the start of the high school football season, we've seen it the past couple of years. Austin Dixon from a couple of years ago, he ended up at Boise State. Brock Purdy now at Iowa State. Some sleepers that didn't have a lot of attention at the beginning of the season, but really picked up steam. We wanted to highlight a couple of those guys.
Yeah, I'll start off with 4 running backs throughout the state of Arizona that don't have a Division I offer at this point in time, but they're guys that I think have a chance to once the season progresses. The recruiting right now is kind of slow. College coaches are all in camp themselves, and recruiting takes kind of a back seat right now as they prepare for their game 1. But the first guy I want to start with is Connor Cullimore over at Highland High School. He's a fantastic running back, scored 7 touchdowns last season, but I actually think he's going to be a Division I safety at 65 tackles, 2 interceptions last year, and has great size, 6'1", 190 pounds. Then over at Pinnacle High School, a young guy that they're very high on, Matt Goodlow, only going to be a junior, but they're high enough on him that they moved an established running back in Caleb Covington out to wide receiver. So while Goodlow hasn't been a varsity player yet at this point, he definitely looks the part. We saw him when we went out there, Jordan, this spring, and he looks fantastic. I'm excited to see what he does, this week coming up when they play Perry. 2 more guys, Mo Parson over at Hamilton, kind of a do-it-all player, has great hands out of the backfield, and Ali Mohammed over at Apollo High School rushed for over 1,000 last yards, and I know Northern Arizona is very high on him.
Yeah, Parson had close to 1,000 all-purpose yards last year. That was with Jawar Jordan in the backfield as well for the Huskies. Now let's go over to the west side for a couple of playmakers.
Yeah, I really like junior wide receiver Dylon Miller over at Centennial High School. The staff over there introduced me to this kid as a freshman, thought he had a chance to be special, and last year as a sophomore was a first-team all-region player. He looks the part. He's 6'2". He's almost 200 pounds. Had 21 catches last year, and 5 of those ended up going for scores. I broke down his film, and I think he's going to be a Division I guy down the road. And then Jonathan Parks, a senior tight end, defensive end over at Verado, 6'3", 235 pounds. Those bodies are not easy to find. He was a first-team all-section tight end as well as a defensive lineman where he had 9 sacks last year.
And, of course, the talent for high school football is statewide here in Arizona. Let's go to Southern Arizona for a couple of guys that really jumped out to you as well.
Yeah, I'm going to call it right now. Jonah Miller, the sophomore offensive lineman at South Point High School, is going to be a Division I player. Saw him last year as a freshman playing on varsity. Saw him in that playoff game against Sunrise Mountain, the game they got the win in. And he was basically their 6th offensive lineman, would come in and their heavy sets and play like a jumbo tight end. And he's 6'4", he's 285 pounds. Really like him. And then TJ Seffers, a tackling machine over at Marana High School, had 111 tackles last year. A senior going to be, and doesn't have a Division I offer yet, but I think he has a chance down the road.
So things are only going to get busier now that the season is going to kick off. Make sure to use the Friday Night 360 AZ hashtag if you're out at a game on Friday night, and keep here on the Recruiting Roundup for all your recruiting news.